Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. Today is Monday, November 23rd. Hope everyone's doing well. So before we jump into today's video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, subscribe to the channel, and tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. But I just shared my screen and you can see that there is a deal on. I thought I would share it with everybody. TradingView just came out with their Black Friday sale, so you can get up to 60% off. So if you're interested in snagging these deals, you can get the Pro, which is the best value in my opinion. So if you're someone new starting out, you might be good with just the Pro, but the Pro Plus is the best value in my opinion. And you can just go here, hit buy now. You'll see exactly what it comes with, but essentially you get 10 indicators that you can have on the chart and a bunch of other, everything that the Pro includes plus more. And you can check that out. But again, huge savings and a great deal. Also, I'll link in the comments below, I'll link a link for you guys to sign up as well, and you'll save another $30, up to $30. So essentially, you should be able to click that link, and it should automatically knock off, I think, $24 US from your total. So I think it should be around 179. So 179 minus 24 ends up being 155 US. So you're looking around $155 USD or $200 Canadian for the whole year. Plus they give you another month for free. So you get 13 months. So highly encouraged, check that out. I'll link the website referral link in the comments below. Be sure to check that out and take advantage. The sale's on for another 3 or 4 days. So now that we got that housekeeping out of the way. So in today's video, we're going to discuss gold failing to hold key weekly support and the weekly descending triangle that had a bear break, which I've been highlighting now for months, and it finally broke. And we're going to see whether or not it will continue to test weekly support levels, or if the bulls can step in and basically buy the dip again. So that's basically what we're going to be looking at. We'll go over some news and events. So I'll just take a look through some of these articles that I found today. So we saw that US Boris Johnson confirms the end of the lockdown on December 2nd, but that will have conditions. So the second lockdown has seen leisure and hospitality venues and all but essential shops close. So we confirmed that the first time since the wretched situation began, we can see a route of it. He said, unveiling the winter plan. So again, you can check that out on your own time. I'm not going to read everything there, but some good information in there. But it does look like they're going to ease those restrictions at the beginning of December. Oxford and AstraZeneca also showed positive data saying that they had about an average 70% effectiveness in preventing the spread and the contracting of the sickness. So saw some more positivity there, and markets reacted very well, and we saw a huge push up in the morning, but we did ultimately sell off when gold started to break through that descending triangle, which I'll bring up on the charts in just a moment. But we also saw that Republican pollster Trump's false rigged election claims may hurt GOP changes of keeping Senate. So a lot of people are criticizing his move on that, on, you know, just failing to concede and just telling them to it's basically saying it's an embarrassment and to just let it be and just give in already. But we also saw European countries relaxing restrictions. We saw Chris Christie tells Trump to end election lawsuits, calls this legal team a national embarrassment. So former New Jersey governor, that's who Chris Christie is, said Sunday that the president should end his legal fights challenging the results of the election and concede. So again, everybody just getting fed up, and Trump, as we know, isn't going to go down without a fight. Germany looks to set to extend lockdown into December, as well as cases remain extremely high. We saw that Eurozone business activity shrinks to 6-month low after new lockdowns. So we're seeing a little bit of contraction there in terms of the economy. AstraZeneca's cure might seem less effective than its peers, but it has some advantages. So again, another interesting article if you want to check that on your own time, but Essentially, they're saying that a lot of people, when they first saw the number, they didn't think it was going to be, or a lot of people were wondering why that was such a big deal, considering Pfizer and Moderna were at 95 and 94 respectively. And you can check that article out if you're interested in learning more. The market is ripe for a correction in the final weeks of the year, Morgan Stanley's Wilson warns. So a lot of back and forth. Some analysts are saying that we could see a huge run up into the end of the year. Some are saying a correction may be looming. So we're seeing all different types of opinions, and there doesn't really seem to be any common ground. Either you're on the one side of the fence of thinking the market's going to crash, or everybody thinks we're going up to test all-time highs. It doesn't really seem to be anywhere in between. So 74% of office workers support a 4-day work week. So that could also jive well with, people just returning back to work, that type of thing. It might not be a bad idea. People are under a lot of mental and physical stress, just, staying locked up at home all the time. It would avoid, going into the office and exposure to potentially contracting it. And it would also save on transportation, that type of thing. So obviously be doing longer days, but have a 4-day. And I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. Let me know in the comments below if you think a 4-hour work week would be, that's something that you'd be interested in. I'd like to just hear what everybody's thoughts are on that. So again, don't forget to check out the TradingView deal that's going to end in about a little over 4 days. So taking a look at next on the list, we'll go over some charting and some indices. So we'll take a look at some overall broader markets and the crypto space as well. So you can see Bitcoin is trading around just over 18,000. Ethereum broke above the $600 mark for the first time in years. We saw Litecoin catch a bid as well, up to about $90 there at one point. XRP, huge move, absolutely huge move. It's been blasting off now for several days. And this is, I mentioned in my video last week, I said, I think I mentioned it a couple videos last week that I was taking in an XRP position as we saw Golden Cross back in the summer. And this is what you can expect with an asset that was one of the best performing assets of 2017, outperformed Bitcoin. Then it consolidated for 3 years. You know that it's probably not going to show the exact same strength as Bitcoin. And it got knocked down from $3.30 all the way down to 11 cents. So having lost 90, 95, maybe more % of its value, obviously you got people who are a little skeptical on moves. So they definitely took advantage of people. And the way that they did that was just letting it get knocked down. And even though Bitcoin was ramping to new highs, we saw that it took a long time for XRP to get anything going. And like I said, back at 11 cents there in March, and now up over 400% from those lows. So again, why I knew to be looking the other way was because obviously when Bitcoin was at nearing all-time highs, we were still only down here at 21 cents, which we were, thousands of % away from the all-time high. If we just take a quick measured move here around the 330 all-time high, yeah, you're looking at 12 to 13x. So 1,200%. You're 1,200% away from the all-time high when Bitcoin was closing in on its all-time high. So I knew to start looking the other way. Something that gets beat down for so long, it takes a long time for for buyers to come back. And obviously people were focused on granddaddy Bitcoin, and I knew to be looking for a higher low on the monthly. We hadn't changed the monthly trend. So bring up the monthly chart here. We hadn't changed the monthly trend since the all-time high. I'm not sure why this is, the chart doesn't seem to be behaving properly here. Just gonna refresh this. Sorry for that, guys. Just bear with me here. So bring up crypto. Yeah, something funky going on there with TradingView. Not sure what's going on there, but you'll just have to take my word for it. So essentially we hadn't changed the monthly trend from all the way back, and it's similar to the marijuana space right now. We didn't change any monthly. So on Canopy, for example, Canopy Growth, we hadn't changed the monthly trend since the all-time highs, and that just happened a couple of weeks ago. And this is the first time that XRP has changed the monthly trend. You can see here from the lows, we didn't really, this was basically all the same move. We didn't really pull back a whole lot. We had a low of 17.5 cents. Some people might have said, okay, yeah, we hit a low of 16.9 cents. That could, in theory, be a higher low and higher high. So some people might have said we had a monthly trend change back here. But we didn't break the high of the previous candle, which is why I didn't consider that a monthly trend change. So whenever we broke here up to the over the 30-cent mark, I knew to be looking the other way. We also had the EMA 12 crossing through EMA 26, which was starting to curl as well. We got above EMA 12, which was a positive sign. And then I knew to be scouting a monthly higher low compared to 11 cents essentially. So how do we know that the monthly uptrend was confirmed? We set a higher low and higher high. So as soon as we broke the high of 32.75 cents, that's when we confirmed a monthly uptrend. We were in a monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily uptrend. That's when you want to be buying the dips, and that's what you want to be looking out for, is these longer term patterns. And now we could potentially see a bull cross here on these monthly EMA 12 and 26. Keep in mind, we are outside of the weekly Bollinger Bands though, and outside of the monthly Bollinger Band. So we could see a nasty pullback here. We're up hundreds of percent. We're up over 100%. So taking a look back here as well from the daily trend change, just from the last daily higher low, we've gone up over 100%. So again, that's what gives you confidence buying the dips when we're in monthly uptrends, weekly uptrends. So again, if you would have just bought on that monthly uptrend, which we would have known that was happening when we set the weekly higher low, and we would have known, or the monthly higher low, we would have known that the monthly higher low was set back here when we broke 32, because that right here, we changed the weekly trend. So as soon as we change the weekly trend, we know that the monthly higher low is likely set, and then we know to be looking out for monthly resistance, which we broke over and saw a ton of follow through. So I personally was up, I think, about 75% on my XRP position, and I basically went about 80% of my portfolio into XRP with a stop below that monthly higher low. Very, very low risk, risking about 5 to 10%, and made over 50. So like I said, made close to about 75% on that. So congrats to the XRP bulls, but don't be surprised if we do pull back. We could easily pull back 20, 30, 40, even 50% and still be extremely healthy and in a daily, weekly, monthly uptrend. So that's where we stand on XRP. I also took a position in Cardano. I mentioned that in my video last week, and we saw huge gains down from the lows of 9 cents. So I entered on the daily higher low and into a higher high, also just looking for a monthly higher low back here on 88 on Cardano as well, because you can see that we had the low, high, higher low, now approaching resistance. Sold my ADA and my XRP. We were closing in on resistance on Cardano, so I knew it was a little bit less of a little bit weaker setup. And then ADA, like I said, ADA sold it because it was getting close to resistance, and XRP obviously ran over 100% and just looking to take some profits. Bitcoin's been essentially going sideways, which is great for the altcoin sector and bulls. So we've been holding EMA 12 now on the daily for a very long time, since all the way back in October. And as soon as we lose that, that'll be notable, but we are forming a daily higher low. We'll be confident that this daily higher low is set. So we're looking to form one here at $17,610. We'll know that that's been set once we change the 4-hour trend back to the bulls. So you can see here we have a low, high, higher low, higher high, but didn't get any follow through and back within. So we're essentially in just a sideways range right now and rejecting at EMA 12 resistance. But if we can get back above 18,777 on Coinbase, then we can get some follow through. We can be confident that the daily higher low is set. But again, we've just been either going sideways or consolidating, and that's been giving room for capital to go into other names like Ripple and Cardano. That's why we've seen 20, 30, 40% moves. I think Ripple was up over 50% one day on the weekend there. So huge bulls. Don't underestimate the crypto bulls at the moment. And Bitcoin, just like I said, looking to form a daily high or low. We have EMA 12 as a potential support at 17,485. So another potential support level, and a recent level of 17,610. And just skipping SPY at the moment, going right into gold. So obviously gold has been very weak in terms of relative performance to gold or to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin and gold are considered hard assets. Bitcoin has been referred to as even harder. And we've noticed that Bitcoin's testing its all-time high while gold has been consolidating. So obviously gold was very, very weak in comparison. And I've been drawing this out for quite some time. It's been months at least now at this point that I've been drawing out this descending triangle pattern here on the weekly. We did break above that briefly here, but then we saw a nasty pullback and gave me, I was starting to think we invalidated it here, but I was looking at this recent high of 1933. We did get over it. We got to 1960, but like I said, a brutal fake out, and we failed to break the resistance here at 1973. We got above the first high, confirmed a weekly uptrend with a low, high, higher, low, and higher high. Didn't get any follow through, and then a nasty pullback. Now we're breaking out of, we lost 1848, which was key weekly support. So that was from all the way back in September. Now we're trading at 1835, and we also have EMA 12 crossing through EMA 26 on the weekly, which is a bearish signal. Hasn't crossed yet, but that could line up well. And then we have 1670 weekly support, which is our last weekly support level to look at from here. So whether or not, I don't anticipate us flushing down unless we see some huge news coming out overnight or into the rest of the week. I don't anticipate us just breaking down to 1670 support right away. I could potentially see us forming a little bit of a lower high and then lower low, confirm a weekly downtrend and test that support. That's where I'd be looking to as a potential buy zone, right around this area. So right around that area here. So the previous all-time high at 1765 and the low at 1670. That's where I would like to start scaling into positions on gold. So I had a lot of people asking about it. I had a very busy day today and appointments and a lot of meetings today. So didn't really do any trading, but essentially just long MJ at the moment, and pretty much like mostly cash at the moment. Got a short on QQQ and SPY, and all cash in the crypto space, just looking for the next setup. So that's where we stand on gold. Silver a little bit stronger, so we can see we're forming a similar descending triangle on silver on the weekly, but silver has yet to lose its support at 2166. And for me, we have to lose that for this pattern to confirm. So again, that was another reason why I wasn't expecting much downside to gold, because silver didn't break its low either. So I knew to potentially start to see, you know, bulls buy the dip a little bit, maybe start to go the other way. And if we do see silver break out of that pattern bearish as well, then we can be even more confident that we could look towards 1670 support on gold. So that's where we stand on silver. Let's take a look at SPY real quick here. So SPY today, pretty much an uneventful day for the most part. You can see when we started the day today, we opened up straight bull out of the gate, and then we saw a nasty pullback. We had a high of 358 and pulled back over 1% and changed the 5-minute trend, set a 5-minute lower high and lower low. And then we went into a 5-minute uptrend into the end of the day, and we did see a lower high, lower low, but not much follow through. So we'll zoom out and we'll look for a potential flag. We have an inside bar on the hourly, so we can be looking at a potential, you can see an equilibrium type of pattern as well. but a little bit too much of a pullback for me to consider that a bull flag at this point. We did hold EMA 12 there into the end of the day as well, but SPY broke out of that daily inside bar that we were watching. So we had an inside bar from last week. We had a high of 358 and support at 354. And Friday we had a high of 357 and 355. And today we had 358, so it broke above. And then that's when we started to pull back, but we're still within that range. We did break the low. So we broke above and then we broke below. So we had a fake out and then another fake out on a bear break. Fake out from a bull break into a bear break fake out, and just finished the day with an indecision candle and lack of direction. So pretty choppy right now on SPY. Taking a look at the weekly chart. So weekly inside bars on watch as well. We could entirely see go sideways for the next few weeks, but in my opinion, I think gold is going to be a real catalyst and sense of direction of what we can expect in stocks going into the end of the year. If we see gold break down notably even further from these levels, we could potentially sense some clues of some potential de-risking and some potential sell-off on the equity side. So that's where we stand. QQQ was down, was actually flat today, closed at right at 0%. We had SPY up a little over 0.5%. The dollar tried to get its bounce going, obviously. So people looks like they were fleeing gold and going into the dollar. So you can see on the daily, we had a decent bounce, but a huge range there as well on the daily. Broke to a new lower low and didn't really see much follow through. We had support at 92.13. We hit 92.01 and held 92 and then just blasted off once gold lost its support all the way back here. So that is where we stand. Also, I did want to bring up on SPY on the monthly chart that I noticed we are starting to pull back from outside of the Bollinger Bands. And I also drew this support and resistance line here on the RSI. You can see that the monthly RSI, last time we touched the resistance, we pulled back and touched support. Now we're at resistance again, looking to form a higher low and potential lower high for another rejection. So we'll see how we close out the month. We've got only a few trading days left. So we got 5 trading days left before the end of the month. So we'll have the rest of this week and one day next week. Also Thursday is a holiday. So markets will be closed on Thursday for the US. And let's just see if there's anything else. XLE energy sector up 7%. So that was huge. Obviously some rotation going on there. Biotech sector up over 2%. That's pretty much it. Healthcare sector still showing weakness, down 0.26%. Just see here who we had for notable movers. I know this video is getting a little bit lengthy at this point, but I did want to shout out to the crypto bulls and spend a little bit of time on gold, as I think that is a very important aspect to trading right now and getting an overall sense of sentiment going into the end of the year. So IWM up almost 2% today. How did SMH do today? So the semiconductors, SMH up over 1.5%. So clearly SMH still standing out stronger than the rest of the tech sector. Apple down big today, over almost 3%. So obviously that took a toll on QQQ. Let's zoom into Apple on the daily. So we do now have a daily low, high, higher low, lower high, lower low. We are now confirmed a daily downtrend on Apple. So that is very notable. The weekly, I've been highlighting this for a while now as well. We're just in this weekly equilibrium. So we have high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high. Looks like our lower high is set, now looking to form a higher low compared to 107.32. We also have EMA 26 support down at 106.59. So if we lose 107.32, we can look to 106.59 as another potential bounce point. But definitely some red flags on Apple. And we do have a monthly inside bar. It looks like we did have a little bit of a bear break, but no follow through. And you can see that we are breaking to higher highs, and the RSI has been showing bearish RSI divergence since all the way back in November of 2008. So from all the way back to 2008, we've been trending down on the RSI. And something similar happened back in the .com bubble, but you can essentially see we've just been trending lower and lower. But I'd go back here from, did hit to a newer higher high there. So it's pretty choppy at this point. It's really hard to basically say where we're going to go from here. But we did notice that the monthly RSI has been trending down. I think it was QQQ that's why I'm confusing it. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So QQQ has been trending down on the RSI since 2017. That's what it was. So QQQ has been trending down and breaking to higher highs. So we could potentially start to see this topping out. We also hit the top of the Bollinger Band on the monthly and started pulling back as well. So just keeping an eye on that. Got a little disoriented there, but figured my way out of that one. So bear with me here. Let's take a look at Amazon. I've been also highlighting a weekly head and shoulders on Amazon, which we could potentially still be playing out. But again, I said it's really going to depend on how gold breaks out of its descending triangle. If silver breaks out of its descending triangle bearish, then that would probably increase the odds that we could start to see. And if QQQ continues to show weakness and Apple, then we could probably start to see something similar. We could also see a bear cross setting up on Amazon as well. So if those the EMA 12 does cross through 26, that could be a bear cross and could confirm that weekly head and shoulders as well. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys in terms of individual stock analysis. Obviously, we could be shutting down. I know some more Canadian provinces announced that they're going to be shutting down for 2 to 4 weeks. And basically, business owners are just, biting their fingernails and sitting by the phone, hoping that they're not going to be the next business or sector that gets shut down. But let's just take a look quickly through some of these names. We did have some huge notable movers. GDX obviously down over 4% today with gold's weakness. Apple led the tech to the downside. Netflix notably weak today, testing 475. And from the bull side, we had JMIA up over 21%. So congrats to the bulls. Huge move on JMIA from the earnings. So if you bought the dip on the earnings, you'd be up almost 200%, no big deal. Riot up 20%, obviously seeing some spillage from the move in crypto over the weekend. NEO showing off up 12%, almost testing $60. NKLA up over 10%. Suncor up almost double digits. Space catching a bid today. Tesla up at 521, closed extremely bullish as well. Roku saw a nice day today. Taking a look at Canadian MJ. So Tilray down almost 10% today. We saw VFF again seeing huge swings to the upside, up over 16%. CGC up 4.22%. So catching a little bit of a bid there. I was noticing as well that we started to see some not rotation, but we started to see some inverse trading there with the marijuana stocks. When SPY was trending down, we could see that CGC was starting to trend up. So I noticed that. We saw Trulieve getting a bounce underway here as well today. Trying to get the daily bounce going. We've been consolidating with a lower high now for the last 4 days in a row. So most important resistance is going to be the high of today at 33.99. If we can break that first thing tomorrow, then we can be confident that the daily bounce is underway. And we'll also want to change the hourly trend. Did that happen? We had a low of 32.08. 32.91. No, we did not change the hourly trend. So this is all a move from the low. We have yet to change the hourly trend. We need a higher low and higher high So if we do break the high of today, tomorrow, obviously the daily bounce will be underway, but we won't be 100% confident that that's our higher low until we change the hourly trend to the bulls. Taking a look at losers. So Vireo down, Harv down, not that much. We had KBEV down 8%. So Koios, BFF again, obviously that was going to be up huge today. I got them on the US ticker on this side. And we saw Grow Generation up almost double digits today as well. BAM catching a bid up to 44 cents. But a lot of the smaller cap names not really seeing as much movement in the big MSOs. So Cura up 1.5%, CL was up 2.6%, TrueLeave up almost 5%. So yeah, we're definitely starting to see some more interest and potential just, re-entries into the Canadian and US space again. It looks like Biden's starting to solidify. He's already starting to name people for heads of different departments, and we'll see if we see any more pushback from the Trump campaign about the contested election. And as one more reminder, make sure to take advantage of the TradingView deal that they have on right now. I'll link that, refer a friend in the comments below so that you can get up to $30 off. So for about $200 Canadian or $155 US, you'll be able to get the Pro Plus pack and save over 50%. So with that, again, thanks for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. And let me know in the comments below if there's any tickers or anything you want covered. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll do my best to do some coverage on that for you as soon as possible. We'll see you tomorrow for another daily market recap. Have a great night, everyone.